As many of you know, Airstreams are some of the most expensive travel trailers on the market today. 2 years ago, my wife and I were transitioned to the full-time RV lifestyle, and we did countless hours of research on different brands and models, ultimately arriving at the decision to buy our Airstream. Did we get it right though, or was this a huge mistake? Before we thoroughly answer that question, there's a very important band-aid that we must rip off first. What does a new Airstream travel trailer cost today? There are currently 8 different models of Airstreams being made, all of which offering a different variety of floor plans and lengths. Starting prices on these range from just above $43,000 for the base camp, all the way up to nearly $180,000 for the classic. So, are they worth it? Great question, let's get into it.
Hey guys, it's Lauren and Sam, the trailer couple dedicated to that simple life, and it is another wonderful day to be a millennial and live in an Airstream. Yes, we are millennials. Yes, we live full-time in an Airstream. No, we are not trying to convince you to drink the Kool-Aid and live in an Airstream full-time and be millennials.
Unless you want to.
Today, after nearly 2 years of living in the burrito full-time, we are going back to revisit the question that we first asked ourselves in 2019, which was, is buying an Airstream worth the money? Now, we have some insights, we've got a fresh take on this, and we are going to try our very hardest to be honest and have an unbiased opinion as we explore whether Airstreams are truly worth the money.
So what are you paying for when you buy an Airstream? Well, Lauren and I sat down and we identified 3 things. Well, number 1, you have the name. 2, quality craftsmanship. 3, resaleability. I'm not really sure if resaleability is a word, but if it's not, it should be moving forward. Part of what you're paying for is undoubtedly the Airstream name. Their icons, from their World War II history to the connection with NASA and even the Smithsonian. These trailers are easily recognizable, durable and elegant, historical yet trendy. If you have a free second sometime, just read about their history on the Airstream website. It's extremely impressive. This historical significance adds a dimension to ownership that very few to any other brands can offer. So how do you quantify how much money this name is worth? You can't, so we aren't going to spend any more time on it. You can, however, quantify the quality of a product and the resaleability of said product. So let's talk about those.
Let's talk about resale value first, because there are a couple important points and misconceptions that you may have heard. Misconception number 1, Airstreams do depreciate. Everything depreciates once you drive it off the lot, and Airstreams actually depreciate pretty significantly in the first few years of owning them. For example, we bought the burrito 2 years ago, and it was 5 years old at the time, and we saved a little over $31,000 off of the original suggested retail price. So that's some real depreciation for the original owners, even though they kept immaculate care of it.
So that being said, the RV market is actually crazy right now. I was actually just reading an article the other day that said Airstream, their sales increased 22% in the year 2020. This increase in demand actually caused there to be a back order for a lot of their trailers, so people were having a hard time buying new Airstreams. This led a lot of people to look towards the used market, which increased the value of the used trailers. So there hasn't been a whole lot of depreciation in even the used trailers recently. And it'll be interesting to see how it affects the prices for these things moving forward.
But Airstreams still do depreciate, just not as much as some of the other RVs out on the market. I think something to note on too is that there is a big push in the Airstream community for these vintage trailers.
People are selling 1950 Airstreams for a lot of money. It's really hard to find another brand that can offer that. So let's talk about what sets Airstream apart from other travel trailers in terms of quality.
If you're buying an Airstream, you can know with confidence that that Airstream was handcrafted in the span of 350 hours. For us, this craftsmanship was one of the main reasons why we decided to spend a little bit more on an Airstream, because we knew that it was quality that would last. 300 more hours that would last. And our plan with this Airstream is to have it for life, right? And be able to have it serve as a guest house for people when we're not living in it full time, be able to take it out with our family, something that our kids can use when they grow up. So we just wanted something that was quality and something that we knew would last, and that was worth us spending a little bit more.
If you walk into an Airstream, you feel the difference. And I used to roll my eyes when people used to say that, but you actually can.
It's true.
It's true. We have tons of friends who have other trailers, and they're really nice. Like, one of our friends has a nice fifth wheel, and we went into it, and it was cool and enjoyable. Weird. We have friends who have different types of trailers, and every time they come into ours, you're like, wow, those floors just feel so firm.
Solid.
So we're going to talk through what some of those differences are in terms of quality, but there's also a great resource. You can go ahead and click on that here. That's from Airstream. They talk about the process of making an Airstream, all those tiny steps that go into it, and it is extremely detailed. This video can't even do that justice. So if you want to just check that out, we're going to share that link up here. We'll probably also put it in the description of the video.
From the zipped awning to the ultra leather couches to the iconic aluminum riveted sidings, we honestly feel that our Airstream is built to last. Our trailer is now 7 years old, and honestly, I feel like it still looks pretty spanking new. The aluminum on the outside and inside still looks great. The interior wood is made out of Italian type plywood instead of the typical like particle wood that are found in other RVs, and that still looks awesome. We have no rips, knock on wood, in our couch yet, and they get lots of love from our 90-pound lab and also us sitting on it quite a bit. So in 7 years, our burrito has held up pretty dang well, which we're very pleased with.
So just because things are built well doesn't mean that things won't break. We've had issues, we've had leaky pipes, we've had rivets that popped out. Things happen. Just imagine if your house went through an earthquake multiple times a month for 7 years, what would have gone wrong? So it's all about just having realistic expectations. From our experience, and especially talking with other people with different types of trailers, again, we do have things that break, but they definitely break less.
Statistically, the average lifespan of an RV is about 15 years, but 75% of Airstreams that were made are actually still on the road today, which is really cool. And if you want to learn more about why we love Airstreams, definitely check out this video.
You cannot argue with those numbers. And I've actually heard that 75% is on the low end of the spectrum, with all the vintage trailers being actually refurbished. More and more of those trailers are getting back on the road. So it may be pushing 80, it may be pushing more. Very impressive stuff. So in terms of backing up their craftsmanship, Airstream does a pretty good job with that. They have a pretty good 3-year warranty that is transferable to the next owner. So a lot of trailers do offer shorter warranties and they aren't transferable. We didn't use it obviously because we bought that after the 3-year mark, but if anyone has had to use the warranty and can speak to how good it is, how bad it is, please drop the comment below. As with anything, there are trade-offs, and in terms of quality, you can't beat Airstream, but in terms of space, you can absolutely beat Airstream. You have to decide what's important to you. Our 27-foot trailer is perfect for us. It's a perfect size for us in Fenton. But with the fact that current models of Airstreams don't offer slide-outs, you definitely compromise in terms of floor space, in terms of usability for that.
So to answer the question, are Airstreams worth the price? To us, the answer is yes, but that's going to be different to everyone. For us, again, as Sam touched on and as we touched on earlier in the video, just having something that was made with quality that would last us our lifetime was really important to us, and we know that this is a trailer we're going to have for us to enjoy for many years, for our kids to enjoy for many years, and even for our grandkids to enjoy.
The fact that it's even a discussion that our grandkids could potentially use this trailer, I think speaks volumes to the quality that Airstream builds. I cannot think of many other brands out there that you could talk about multiple generations using it. So that's why we bought it. We're super happy with our purchase, but it's not right for everybody. If your timeline is different in terms of how long you're planning on holding on to this trailer, or your needs in terms of space are different than ours, maybe you should look into a different type of travel trailer or RV.
I think it's important to note, and also kind of cool to note, that neither Sam or I grew up in families that RV'd, and neither one of us set foot in an RV before we started looking at Airstreams and trailers to live in full time. So, you know, for us, we've really grown to love this lifestyle, and it's not so much about the RV or trailer that you purchase, it's more so about the people that you surround yourself with, right, in that setting. And we choose to use our trailer for adventure and are happy that we have a quality travel trailer that can allow us to do that.
Thanks for watching today. We really appreciate it and hanging out with us. We learn a lot from you guys, and hopefully you learn a little bit from us here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and click that notification bell. Apparently that's a thing. I learned that like last week. So you get notifications that way when we come out with new videos. We have a lot of good new ones coming that are in the works right now, so stay tuned for those.
Otherwise, we will plan on catching you all next time.
It's very warm in this trailer because we do not run our air conditioner while we are recording.
This is why I have this on. It's my sweat rag.